Welcome back. I don't know. UFC 309 is happening this weekend, so I'm gonna let you guys know what I think and give you guys some picks and stuff. Yeah, I know you like those. Sometimes, maybe. Make some money, hopefully. Happens November 16th. So, let's get it started. We got a really dog shit start to the card, so can't wait to get into it. Starting at women's flyweight, Veronica Hardy versus Eduarda Moura. So here I have written Veronica Hardy is kind of a decision machine. She doesn't really pose too many finishing threats, so to say. She has good takedown defense. I saw her have some good scrambles in her past fights, but she doesn't have any power in her shots on the feet, and it's pretty low level. It's women's MMA, so a lot of times they just throw in flurries and hope something lands and maybe it connects, but 99% of the time it doesn't. So, I don't see this as a very high level fight, but Eduarda Moura she's kind of a bigger flyweight for the women's flyweight division. She went to it I think it was a split decision. I could be wrong, with Denise Gomes, which is kind of cool. I guess that's not a bad loss. Denise Gomes isn't that bad, She, like I said, she has the size advantage. I think she's a little bit of a better grappler than Veronica Hardy, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Veronica Hardy is going to be able to edge out a decision. Who cares? Basically, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter. This fight is going to be boring, I'm assuming, so don't bet on this one. This fight sucks. Hey, wait, I gotta take my fucking headphones off. Here we go. Basil Hafez versus Oban Elliott. I think Oban Elliott is actually really good. Maybe not really good, but I think he's a lot better than what he gets credit for. But Basil Hafez, I think it was his UFC debut, he fought Jack Della Maddalena, and he didn't look bad. I have a hunch on that. It could be because he was, he's on the fucking steroids. That's what I think, because when guys come up on the regional scene, they have no way to test them or anything. They just throw them into a fight. I think that's what it was. But then he looked awful against Mickey Gall after that. He barely beat Mickey Gall. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I don't know, man. He's weird. He has a lot of power. And he spams takedowns. He throws really heavy shots when he's on the feet, and then when he's not on the feet, he's sniffing crotches trying to take you down. It's really all it is. That being said, I think Oban Elliott's a more complete mixed martial artist. I think. What are the odds on this fight, by the way? My face is covering it, so I can't see. Oban Elliott's a favorite. Okay, go figure. Oban Elliott beat the shit out of Val. What's his name? I think I have it written. Val Woodburn. Yeah, the guy who got knocked out. The black dude that got knocked out by Bo Nickal. That guy. He beat the shit out of that guy. And then when he fought, I think it was his name's Preston Parsons, something Parsons. He showed all facets of MMA, specifically in the grappling exchanges. He's really good in the grappling exchanges. I just think he's a better mixed martial artist. I don't know. That's how I see it. Again, the start of this card fucking blows. So, anyways, I have Oban Elliott. I think the volume is going to be too much for Hafez. I think that his defensive grappling is going to be too much for Hafez. He's not going to be able to. Hafez won't be able to land. Or Hafez. I don't know, man. He sucks. Who cares? He'll be gone in a year. But, yeah, man. I have Oban Elliott by I don't know, decision, maybe. Or maybe late round TKO, I guess. All right, on up the card. On up the card we go. We've got Mickey Gall versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Hey, Dana, explain this to me, bro. Fucking, what's his face? I accidentally just clicked this guy. God damn it. Basel Hafez beat Mickey Gall in his last fight. Why is he lower than him on the card? Would love to know how that fucking works. Anyways, this card blows, dude. Mickey Gall's 7-6, bro. He always seems to have like an underwhelming performance. You know, I mean, you can't expect much from him, but it seems like every time he steps into the octagon, it's like less of what you thought was going to happen, you know? He's on like a 3-fight losing streak. He seems to only win when he's fighting cans. So, you know, this might be the worst fight on the card, actually, now that I think about it. Brahimaj lost to Court McGee. He lost to Themba Gorimbo, who both are not good. You know, Court McGee's like 56 years old or some shit. Themba Gorimbo's not very good, and he got dog walked by both of those guys. I saw a couple like LFA fights, I think, from him where he had some decent scrambles and he threw up a couple subs, and I don't know, dude, like, who cares who I take? Don't bet on this fight. This is the worst fight on the card, skill wise. They're both just not good. If I had to take someone to win, I would say take the favorite. Mickey Gall's the favorite. Cool. Sounds good to me, bro. I don't know. This is a terrible fight, and I don't know why Mickey Gall is fighting higher on the card than Basel Hafez. I have no idea. None of it makes sense. This is a pay-per-view, by the way, in 2024. This is what we're doing right now. So, yeah, take the favorite, I guess. Mickey Gall by who gives a fuck, I guess. Up the card we go. We got Marcin Tybura versus, I think it's Jonata Deniz. Two guys who are not completely morbidly obese and are in the heavyweight division. That's new, you know? Who thought that? We would have seen that. Marcin Tybura is getting a little bit older. He's got more experience in the UFC, for sure. But he has a lot of volume from what we've seen, but he doesn't have the power because I think he's just not as fat as everybody else. He's still pretty chubby. I mean, look at him. He's not, I wouldn't consider him to be in peak shape, you know. That's my expert opinion, you know. Jonata Deniz, I saw some of the fights. He's undefeated. I saw some of the fights that he had prior to being in the UFC. Actually, I think this might be his debut. I could be fucking crazy. I'm gonna see if this loads, but oh no, he fought in a fight night. Okay, nice. Yeah, he beat Austin Lane. Okay. I thought this was his debut. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. He has some brutal KOs. He's a really good kickboxer. And he's a lot younger. He's also not completely morbidly obese. So, I guess that'll be cool to watch. Heavyweights that aren't completely fat. But when it comes to the power side of things, which is what plays a part a lot of the time at heavyweight, because no one can grapple and they kind of just throw hands at each other and wait till someone connects. Janata Denise, or Yanata Denise. I'm just going to call him Denise. I don't go fuck. I think he has the power advantage. I think if he does land, we've seen Tabora get chinned before. We saw Aspinall chin him. We saw a few other guys chin him. I think Tabora's getting a little bit older. And Denise is 8-0. He's got momentum. He's got heavy hands. Good kickboxer. I got Denise by KO. First 2 rounds, we'll say. Why not? Throw a crazy prediction out there. Why not? Okay, now we're on to the prelims. Jim Miller versus Damon Jackson. This is like a retirement home fight, I guess. I don't know why we're doing this. This is kind of fucked up, but I guess it's better than like feeding him to, like, some. I guess they did give Damon Jackson to Ilya. It went well.
All combinations. Those body shots have now officially set up the headshot. And it's all over.
The walk-off KO for Ilya.
But we've got Jim Miller versus Damon Jackson. I actually know someone who knows Jim Miller decently well. That's trained with him before, and he's kind of on his way out. Is what I've been told. He only is fighting for a couple more paychecks, and then he's gonna move on with his life and do other stuff, help his community, and kind of live on the land type of thing. But it's Jim Miller. He's got a grit and grind style, and he's a good grappler. He has decent striking, I guess. He got fucked up by Bobby Green, like, really bad. But Damon Jackson's a little bit younger, which is crazy to say because I think he's like 36 or 37. And Damon Jackson's a pretty boring fighter. He'll take you down and sit in full or half guard all fight long. He does not care. So, I think Damon Jackson has the more of a want to win because he's a little bit younger and he's probably still trying to make some money, I'm assuming. I think if Jim Miller does want to win, he's going to have to do it in the first round by, like, submission or something. I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out. I think the only way he gets it done is by submission. But, again, Damon Jackson will sit in half guard and just not move if he wants. Just for a paycheck. So, prediction-wise, root for Jim Miller. If you're not rooting for Jim Miller, you're dead to me. Everybody loves Jim Miller. But expect a boring decision from Damon Jackson because this card blows. And why wouldn't it be that, you know? So, I've got Damon Jackson probably by decision. But root for Jim Miller. For the love of God, please. Okay. Now we've got Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. The amount of low-level fights on this fucking card, by the way, is, like, astonishing to me. Can we just look at this really quick? Damon Jackson, Jim Miller. They're both, like, 50. This fight got canceled. Who cares? Marcin Tybura, Denise, I guess, like, also very boring. Mickey Gall's 7-6 on his way out. Brahimaj lost to, like, Court McGee and Thimba Garimbo. Basel Hafez isn't on steroids anymore. He's not cool. Obon Elliott's actually the one high-level fight on this card, on this early prelims. And then Veronica Hardy, Eduardo Mora. Like, they're just, like... Anyways, dude. Eric Anders, Chris Weidman. I talked about this, I think, because Bruno Silva, I talked about the Chris Weidman-Bruno Silva fight on the last breakdowns and predictions video, and I mentioned how Chris Weidman, he was still handedly winning that fight. Like, he was winning the striking exchanges, regardless of everything else. So, I think that he gets a lot taken away from him just because of that, but I still think he's not as bad as some of the other people in the middleweight division, such as Eric Anders. Obviously Chris Weidman could TKO him by eye poke again. Who knows? But Chris is very, other than the whole eye poking situation, I think he's really fundamentally there, and I think that he can mix in the takedowns maybe, and keep Eric Anders at bay with a jab. Try and stay on the front foot. I don't think Eric Anders fights very well on the back foot. Eric Anders, on the other hand, like he's lost to like shitters, like serious shitters. Like he lost to Dawkins. He beat Dawkins. Like, who cares? He barely beat Jamie Pickett, and then like he beat like Gerald Meerschaert. Fucking good lord, dude! This is a pay-per-view, dude. Eric Anders is slowed down for sure, though. He's a little bit older now. So is Chris Weidman. So who cares? But prediction-wise, I don't know. Go with the favorite, I guess. I'm gonna go with Chris Weidman. Oh wow, okay, he's the underdog barely, but I'm gonna go Chris Weidman. I think people shit on him really hard for the whole eye poke thing, but rightfully so. But I don't think. How the fuck is my camera not focused? Focus, please. Focus. I don't know. I think Chris Weidman's a little bit better than people are giving him credit for. Just because he's old and he got a TKO by eye poke, people are gonna shit on him for it. I don't care. I thought he was winning that fight regardless. So I'll take Chris Weidman in this one. We finally have got to a decently high level matchup. Can you fucking believe it? It took all the way to I think this is the featured prelim. It is. Anyways, Jonathan Martinez, his last fight, he fought Jose Aldo. I'm a huge Aldo fan. Like most people, if you're not, you got something wrong with your head, I think. He lost to Aldo, but he looked good, I thought. I mean, he had some decent moments, especially in the striking exchange. I mean, in the whole fight, they were kind of on the feet, but I think he fights well at range. Why is this so high? I don't know why it looks like this. I don't know. I'm tripping. But I mean, Jonathan Martinez has beaten some really good people. I mean, he beat that one inbred. What's his name? One of the Nurmagomedovs, Said Nurmagomedov, or however you pronounce it. He beat Cub Swanson a while ago when Cub Swanson wasn't completely washed yet. He beat Vince Morales. He's beaten some good guys, and he looks good. He's kind of a younger gatekeeper, I guess, if that makes any sense. And Marcus McGee's solid too. He's a really good striker. He's got decently heavy hands. I mean, he's 9-1. You can see that. But he's making a really big jump. Like his last fight, his last 2-3 fights, he just smashed beer cans and so he's making a really big jump toward Jonathan Martinez. Do I stop? Am I? A lot of this fight is going to be them picking at range. I see a lot of leg kicks. I see a lot of teep kicks. I see a lot of body kicks. I see a lot of jabs. This is going to be a lot higher level than the other stuff on the card, I think. But do I trust Marcus McGee to stop the leg kicks and the kind of investment that Jonathan Martinez is known to have? Not yet, I don't think. I think Marcus McGee is biting off a little bit more than he can chew here. So I'm gonna go with Jonathan Martinez. I think that he's a lot better than a lot of the people in the I think he'll smash every single prospect that comes up in bantamweight. At least at this point, there's a hard drop off of talent. Oh, my bad. There's a hard drop off in talent in the bantamweight division once you get outside of that top 15 maybe. because Jonathan Martinez is what, 13? Yeah, he's 13. So anybody really outside of him, I'm not impressed with. And Marcus McGee hasn't fought anybody that's really been a solidified top 15 guy. I think Jonathan Martinez will put him away. He's coming off a loss to Aldo. I think he learned a lot in that fight as well. So I'm going to take Jonathan Martinez. Yeah. Jonathan Martinez. All right, on to the main card we go. So Mauricio Hufi, he is one of the Fighting Nerds. If you're not familiar with the Fighting Nerds, it's Gene Silva, Caio Baralho, Mauricio Hufi, Carlos Prates. I think that's the main bunch. But Mauricio Hufi is probably, I would say, he's probably one of my top 3 favorite fighters right now. Because Connor is what got me into watching MMA, and he reminds me a lot of Connor. His flow state, his hands down kind of, maybe not hands down, but like it's hard to describe. Like he has like a karate stance almost, and he knows how to find your chin on like these counter pulls with his backhand. I mean, he has the combination of like speed, power, and accuracy. When he's able to like combine those so perfectly, and it's so fun to watch. That being said, he does leave a lot of openings, as did Connor. You know, which happens with a lot of these guys. We saw with Alex Pereira at one point. You know, when he got fucking sent to the shadow realm by Izzy, but. If you want something fun to watch Mauricio Hufi's fight against Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey's kind of meh, but Mauricio Hufi was just toying with him the whole time. It was fucking awesome. That being said, James Yontop is not bad. I actually think he's not a bad. He's kind of on the heavier side, like the chubbier side of lightweight. You can tell these 2 pictures right here, but his last fight, he took a lot of damage, so he's never been KO'd, which him being built the way he is probably helps that. He's not as dehydrated as these other guys, but him not being ever put away, people are probably still going to think, you know what, I don't know, man. I'm just going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Mauricio Hufi is going to put him away in the first round. I think it's not even going to be close. I think Yontop took too much damage in his last fight. I think that Hufi finds people's chins like someone we haven't seen in a while, especially at lightweight, like a sniper, because that's what I see him as. I mean, what are the odds on this shit? 850. Holy shit. Yeah. So I have Hufi by first round KO. I think it's going to be like a highlight reel type of thing, which sucks because I like Yontop. I think he's one of the more fun prospects at lightweight to watch, even though he's not very high level. I still enjoy watching his fights. His last like 3. I think he's lost like 3 in a row, but I don't know. I still have fun watching him. I think Hufi's going to put him away brutally, though, in the first couple rounds. Probably the first, but yeah. Mauricio Hufi. Okay, next fight of the main card, we got Karine Silva versus Viviane. I think it's pronounced Araújo. I don't know. I think this is closer than people think. I think people think that Karine Silva is just going to go in there and submit her in the first round, which very well could happen. But Viviane Araújo, she makes a lot of fights really competitive, like out of nowhere. She doesn't really lose to people outside of the top, or in the bottom of the top 15, I guess. So people in the, from 10 to 15, she doesn't really lose to those people based off of her record. But Karine Silva's on a huge win streak. She's on like a 9-fight win streak. I think like 4 of them are in the UFC or something like that, or 5 of them maybe. And I think like 80% of her fights in the UFC are finishes in the first round by submission. So Karine Silva's a really good grappler, but Araujo always seems to make it competitive, is what it seems. That being said, this is, by the way, a lot of people say, like, the bathroom break of the card. It's this. So, I'm going to take Karine Silva, though, by, I think she can get it done early. She tends to be very grapple heavy in the first round. I don't know if Araujo is going to be able to match it very well, so I'll take Karine Silva by submission first round. On up the card, we got Bo Nickal versus Paul Craig. Bo needs to find a way in this fight to neutralize any sort of offensive grappling if the fight does go to the ground. I don't know if it will. I'm going to be honest. I think Bo's going to KO him in the first round, but he's got fast hands, and his wrestling is what we look at when you think of Bo Nickal. But his last fight against Cody Brundage, I was not very impressed. I'm going to be honest. Cody Brundage is on par for me with Mario Batista for being a piece of shit. And an awful fighter, for that matter. And Bo took a little bit of time to put him away. So, if I'm Bo in this fight, I'm not taking Paul Craig to the ground. I'm striking with him because I'm not even giving him that opportunity. That being said, if Bo does take him to the ground, if you're Paul Craig, you need to limit the guard passes and try and find your full guard as much as you can to try and throw up those submissions, because that's the only way that Paul Craig wins. He has basically no ways of winning outside of that, whereas Bo, I think, has more ways of winning. I mean, we saw Paul Craig get submitted. I think he got submitted by Brendan Allen. So I think Bo Nickal will submit him in the first round, though. That's where my head's at. Or not submit him, sorry. KO in the first round. I think he's too smart to go to the ground with Paul Craig. I don't think he'll limit the danger by staying on the feet. So next on the card, we got Charlie Oliveira versus Iron Michael Chandler as the co-main. I haven't even changed this because I'm a retard. Sorry. Let's see. For anyone that doesn't know, Charles Oliveira is my favorite fighter in the UFC. Probably ever, honestly. Charles is my favorite fighter. That being said, I personally think if you've seen one Michael Chandler fight, you've seen them all. At least when it comes to fighting the top, like those top guys, like a Charles Oliveira, like a when he at the time Dustin Poirier, or like a Justin Gaethje at the time. He's dangerous in the first 3 minutes. He shows all this hard training he does, and then he goes out in the first 2 minutes, and he just destroys his gas tank, and he's sucking air because he's retarded. I think that if Charles is able to not get KO'd and keep a high guard in the first half of the first round, I think that if he makes it out of those first couple minutes, I think it's going to be like stealing candy from a baby. He's just going to play with Chandler like it's nothing. So if Michael Chandler wants to win, he has to win early, like really early. He's got to KO him early. That being said, if he wants to win this fight outside of that, he has to limit the explosiveness that he shows early on. He won't though, because he's a retard. Also, ring rust is real, dude. If you're not showing up for 2.5 years or whatever it is, we haven't seen you in the octagon in 2.5 years. It's gonna show. So, if Charles makes it out of that first minute or first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's not going to be close. He's going to maul. Charles will maul him. He'll submit him. I have Charles by submission in the first or second. He's going to submit him. So, is this a 5-rounder? Can we see that? Is this? And Charles is a favorite too. Maybe if I look this up, let's see. It doesn't say, I don't think. So, I don't know. Not that it's going to go 5, but Michael Chandler has a better chance if it goes 3, but I don't know, man. I think Charles is going to maul him. I'm biased, but again, you've seen one Michael Chandler. It's like a Chiefs game. If you've seen one Chiefs game, you've seen every Chiefs game ever. It's always the same, It's the same thing with Michael Chandler, but not in a good way because he's not cheating. He's an idiot and he's retarded. All right, on to the main event, I guess is what they're calling it. It's not, by the way. The Michael Chandler and Oliveira is the main event. I don't give a fuck about this. I don't know if I could care less about this fight. Jon Jones versus Stipe. Jon Jones is such a pussy, bro. I can't stand him. No one wants to see this. If you do want to see this, I don't even know, man. I don't know what's wrong with you. You got something wrong with your fucking head. Jon Jones has a wrestling advantage, obviously. We saw that in the previous moments of his career. He's able to take down DC. He's able to take down all these other guys, but he does have the wrestling advantage, not as much as his past fights, like with Dominic Reyes or with Ovince St. Preux, which went to a split decision, by the way. Same with Thiago Santos. Jon Jones is overrated. Don't at me. I think Jon will use the body kicks well. I think he'll use those knee stomps. I think the oblique kicks is what they call it. I think he'll use the clinch game very well too. Look for sweeps off of him. And Stipe's fucking like 43, bro. Like, look at the picture they're using. They have Reebok shorts. That's how fucking old he is, bro. This fight sucks. I don't care. Tom Aspinall's the real champ. If and when Jon Jones wins, and if he does actually retire like he says he is, and he ducks Jon Jones, I'm taking him out of the top 3 of my GOAT list. He will not be in the top 3. I don't care. That being said, Stipe can win, maybe. I don't know. Like, by how? I like maybe KO, I guess. Maybe a freak injury, God forbid. But if Jon gets a takedown on Stipe, I think he's going to struggle to get back up, and Jon will land elbows, and he'll find his bag at some point and submit him. That's how I see it going. Who cares? Jon Jones is going to win. Root for Stipe. Root for Jon Jones not to pussy out and not fight Tom Aspinall. He wants to fight Alex Pereira. Wonder why. Yeah, The reasons he gave on that, by the way, were that Alex Pereira is 37. I'm 37. That shouldn't be a reason to fight somebody, first of all, and it's not. Secondly, we know why you only want to fight Alex Pereira, because you're just going to, in the first 5 seconds, you're going to dive across the octagon and take him down and choke him out. We saw Israel Adesanya control Alex Pereira on the ground for a good, 2 minutes at one point. You'll maul him on the ground, bro. We know. Okay? You get a lot of experience, being on top of men, with your boyfriend back home, John. But anyways, I could rant all day. Jon Jones is a piece of shit. He's gonna win. Yeah, I'll post my reactions if there's any cool KOs or submissions or anything like that. In the meantime, appreciate you guys. I'll be around, but you